Hey everyone, welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star. If you're new here or you have not already, please consider subscribing to the channel and don't forget to hit the thumbs up as you're listening along today. Today is Monday, February 13th, and because it's a Monday, that means it's time for What's Sold on eBay. Just like every week, we're going to start with the plush, and then we're going to jump into some highlights, some good bread and butter brands, some bolos, things you need to be on the lookout for. And we're going to talk a little bit about some bundles that we sold leading into tomorrow's video that I've been promising now for about 2 weeks. I said I would do a video on getting rid of your stale items, increasing your sell-through rate, and how to clearance items out. I'm going to do that video tomorrow for you. And today we're going to take a look at some of our stuff we're clearancing out and that folks are bundling together, which is really what you want when you lower prices severely to clearance out poop items. It's great that they move, but it's even better when people bundle them together because then you're getting rid of more than one piece of poop at a time and you're saving money on shipping. But without further ado, I think we only sold one plush on eBay last week. Actually, that is because I pulled all of our plush. So our plush sales are going to go down. Most of you know that in the last couple of weeks, last month, I mentioned that I had ended all of our remote listings and then just started to put them back in utilizing List Perfectly's catalog. Let me show you what I mean, because it's super cool the way I was able to do it so quickly and efficiently without much hassle. If you guys aren't using List Perfectly, you really should be. It's not just a cross-posting tool. It's an inventory management tool. It's so much more than just cross-posting. So I ended all of our listings that were remotes on all of the platforms. I don't know why I put the word remotes because I was talking. So I was able to come into List Perfectly and just, bulk select and then just end them. And then after they were all off of everywhere, I brought up a bin of remotes to my office, one bin at a time. I would enter the model number here, say it was D197A. And then I would just be able to list it right back out. And then as I was finding more than one, we apparently have 25 of this model. But if I found more than one, I could go in here and change the SKU. And let's say I just found the fourth one of this, I would add that I had 2 in bin 5. And then you can update it. You guys, there's so much you can do with List Perfectly. It is such an amazing tool. You can try it for 30% off your first month with code flippinhippos. Or you can upgrade to the Pro plan and try that out for a month, 30% off with code flippinhippos. And the Pro plan is what we have. So like I was showing you, if I did actually have 4 of these and I updated the SKU, I would just go here and update, and it would update the listing. So I got all the remotes done. The main reason I did that was because a bunch of the bins got mixed up when we moved. And then we discovered that a bunch of our plush was mixed up. And I don't know what the movers did. I don't think they combined bins, but the boxes and stuff that we had, just a bunch of stuff got mixed up. So I went ahead and ended most of the plush that we have listed. And I'm bringing up the bags of plush and the bins of plush one at a time and going back through them and relisting them. So I suspect, while there are not as many listed, the plush sales will go down. But then as they're getting listed back in, they'll go up. Our remote sales have vastly increased. Our remote sales were really slow for a while there. And as I delisted and relisted them, they picked back up. So this is the Lovey we sold on eBay for $13.12. This was a 50-cent find. If you're not familiar, Loveys are like little square security blankets, typically with a plush animal or doll in the middle. But you can also use the keyword Lovey on any stuffed animals or blankets meant for infants or babies. But these little little blankets. I mean, they're like 12 by 12. They're definitely bolos, depending on the brand. You know, your low end ones are going to go for about 12, and some of these can go for $60 and $80. So keep your guys' eyes out for these. And you can see that we're still running 30% off. So this is something I wanted 15 for, but we're running sales right now to try to get items moving because folks don't have as much money as they did before. So instead of lowering our prices and contributing to the problem of racing to the bottom, we are running 30% off sales, keeping our prices at what they were and just running a bigger sale. I am clearancing out poop items and old items. So I'm going through and list perfectly again. You can sort your catalog by not sold, and then you can go to the oldest ones created and see what your oldest stuff is and how long it's been sitting around and all of that. And just kind of go through them. I think I still have the word remote here. Anyway, I'm going through and getting the oldest stuff that we've had around for a long time, making some executive decisions on dropping the prices by 50%, all the way down to $6.99 in some cases. We're basically going to be making our money back with enough to cover fees and shipping supplies, and then a little bit of profit on some items. I'll get more into that in tomorrow's video. But I did want to make it very clear that I'm not doing this with really good brands. So when I come back in here, and if I have a really old pair of silver jeans or Miss Me jeans, those aren't anything I would drop 50%. If it's a good brand, if it's a solid Bolo brand and it's older, I'm going to rework the listing. I'm going to check the photos. I'm going to check the title, the keywords, and then delist and relist it to give it a fresh listing, and then it should sell. If it's, you know, some of these brands you can see here, like Old Navy, this t-shirt here, this t-shirt here, stuff like that, I don't mind clearancing out and dropping the prices on. But if it's a Bolo brand, I'm not going to do it. No matter how old it is, I will keep the price where it's at, rework the listing, and maybe run a bigger sale on it. So we had one buyer buy 9 of our ties. I had just dropped the prices on a bunch of ties to clearance them out. There's this Tommy Hilfiger, this Ralph Lauren, a Bugatti, a Talbot Studio, a Tommy Hilfiger, this Tasso Alba, a Robert Talbot, Ermin Gildo, I think I'm saying that correctly, and a Brooks Brothers. One buyer bought all of these ties. That is all of them, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. And they actually shipped first class, which was neat. I thought they were going to have to go on a padded flat or a cardboard mailer, priority mail. So the total for all 9 ties was $68.56, which averages out to $7.61 a tie. So some of these were marked down to $6.99, but because some of them were a little higher, he did offer like 15 on this one, I believe. It averages out to almost $8 a tie. Also keep in mind that when we purchased our ties, they were a wholesale purchase for us, and they came out to about 10 cents a piece. So we're only 10 cents into each tie, and we shipped 9 of them for about $5. And so we saved a ton of money on shipping. And this is why it's really great when people buy a whole bunch of your clearance items in bulk. We're seeing this on several platforms because we're dropping the clearance items on all platforms, which is neat. I did sell these 524 New Tags jeans by Levi's for a best offer of $25. And these were a 99-cent fine, believe it or not, even with tags. Love when I make those finds. Here's an Insignia remote that sold for $13.99. We sold a lot of remotes at the lower $7 to $10. And again, the remotes, you know, we have a high volume business model, high volume, low cost in a lot of instances. We do have Bolo brands that sell for higher dollar amounts. but we don't find as many of those and we don't get as great of a deal. So we get ties for 10 cents. We get remote controls at 25 cents a pound. So when we buy our large lots of remotes from our suppliers, most remotes weigh about 4 ounces. So you're getting almost, 4 remotes a pound typically. So you're paying 8 cents a remote. And when you buy the big lots, you pull out some that are going to sell for $80, $100, some that sell for $12, $18, $20, all prices. So we list them all, regardless of their price. Whether they're going to sell for $7 or $80, we list them all. We're getting them for about 8 cents a piece. They ship first class very cheaply. So we do list everything out of those. We have another bundle here. So here's some t-shirts that I showed you that I clearanced out. These have been sitting around in some instances since 2018 and 2019. So these are very, very old items I am just trying to get rid of. That I marked down to $6.99. We got most of these for 50 cents a piece. Some of them were like 25 cents a piece, just wholesale lots of tons of shirts and stuff that we had bought back in some during the shutdown. Some of these were 99-cent finds, but a lot of it's really, really old stuff that we got super duper cheap. It's been sitting around for, years now. I'm just ready to be rid of it. And in a lot of these instances, the really great stuff out of those wholesale lots, sold first. They sold quick, they sold fast, they paid for it. I just really want my money back at this point or to break even. So this one buyer, speaking of bulk purchases, bought 4 shirts. So they bought this Duke athletic shirt, the Old Navy button front, the LSU, and the Chicago Cubs, and paid $22. So it averaged out to $5.50 a shirt. But they shipped all together, saved us money on shipping, got rid of some poop. Glad to clearance it out, guys. Levi's 512s. I took a best offer of $22.99 on. These were 99 cents. Some Torrid jeans I got for 99 cents. I do like Torrid. It's a good brand. I took a best offer of 20 on these. And again, this is something that I would typically try more for 30 on, but I understand right now that times are tough and people don't have as much money. Rather than lowering our prices, though, I'm just running sales. I want to keep my prices where they're at. So, on the other end of this, or when I decide my sales are done, I can just put my prices right back where they were. And we should all be doing that. So that way Torrid is still worth 30 at the end of the recession. I know people are going to at me in the comments and say we're not really in a recession, but inflation, let's say that. All right, here's an example of an $8.74 remote that we sell. We sold 3 of these and another bundle to one buyer. So he paid $26.22 for all 3. And they're so lightweight that all 3 went together first class. We just put one wrap of bubble wrap around each remote and put them in a padded mailer. And this is a buyer that we've had for years now. I recognize their name by now, but the first wholesale big gaylord of remotes Keith and I ever bought was in the fall of 2019. And at sometime at the end of that year, this particular buyer purchased from us, and they purchased like 5 remotes. I can tell by their name, they sound like an electronics store. And my theory is that they sell VCRs and DVD players, and they probably go online looking for inexpensive remotes, because when you sell, if you know this, when you sell used VCRs and DVD players, if you have the remote with it, you can raise the price significantly. It really raises the value. So this particular buyer or store buys remotes from us all the time, and it's always more than one. It's always a nice deal. So $26.22 for 3 remotes. That's 3 big bundles this week. We sold 4 t-shirts to one buyer, 3 remotes to another buyer, and 9 ties to another buyer. And then we've been doing some bundles on other platforms. Just trying to get rid of the poop as we put in new, better items. And again, I'm not going to clearance out or lower the prices on Bolo brands, but we will talk more about that tomorrow. I'll be back. And if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns about anything you saw today, let me know down below. Go be productive. Go make some money. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Y'all are the best. Bye.